My stepkids once told me they only answer to their real parents. So, I changed the locks, cut off every privilege in my name, and told their father to come pick them up. No one argued. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. You know, I used to believe that patience and love could melt any wall, even the coldness of teenagers. That if you kept showing up, kept being kind, eventually they'd let you in. But I learned the painful truth. Some people, even kids, mistake kindness for weakness and generosity for a free ride. I'm Mark, 42, married to Jessica for 3 years. This is the story of the night I finally put my foot down in our blended family, and why sometimes love looks like boundaries instead of endless forgiveness. When Jess and I married, I brought 2 kids, Emma, 10, and Tyler, 8. Jess had Mason, 16, and Chloe, 14. Their dad, David, lives 20 minutes away and sees them every other weekend. From day one, I treated Mason and Chloe like my own. I covered their sports fees, bought their school stuff, included them in game nights, vacations, even asked their opinions on house rules. But here's the truth. Respect can't be bought, and it can't be begged for. The first warning came 6 months in. I asked Mason to help carry in groceries. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to." Jessica overheard, stepped in, and made him help. But the attitude was there. He wasn't doing it for me, just for her. I brushed it off. His adjusting, I told myself. But it only escalated. Mason and Chloe would listen to Jessica instantly, but when I asked for the same, I'd get silence or blank stare. "I'll wait for Mom." Dinner I cooked? Mason would check with Jess before taking a bite. Messes Chloe left? She'd shrug. "Mom didn't tell me to clean it." It started bleeding into my kids. Emma cried because Mason stole her art supplies and told her, "Your dad's rules don't count. Only real parents do." Tyler asked why Mason and Chloe didn't have to listen to me like he did. How do you explain that double standard to an 8-year-old? Jess always said, "They are still adjusting. Their dad fills their heads." But the truth was, time wasn't healing anything. It was teaching them they could disrespect me without consequence. The breaking point came on a Thursday. Tyler was sobbing because Mason smashed a Model A plane we'd built together. When Tyler confronted him, Mason sneered, "Tell your dad to buy you another one. That's all he's good for." I confronted Mason. He didn't even pause his video game. "Accidents happen," he said. When I explained, he shrugged. "You're not my dad. I don't owe you anything." That was it. Something went cold inside me. No yelling. Just clarity. I sat in my office and listed everything in my name. The mortgage, utilities, Wi-Fi, phones, streaming services, even the gaming console Mason was glued to. Then I started cutting them off. By the time Jess found me, I'd already cancelled Mason and Chloe's phone lines, scheduled the internet and cable to shut down, changed streaming passwords, and was packing their belongings. Jess panicked. "Mark, what are you doing?" I told her, "Your son reminded me I'm not his parent. So I'm making sure he doesn't have to take anything from someone who isn't." The next day, I changed the locks and had new keys made for everyone but Mason and Chloe. When Jess and the kids got home, they couldn't get in. I told her calmly, "Their stuff's packed. David can pick them up tonight." She said I couldn't kick out her children. "I'm not kicking out your kids," I said. "I'm removing people who said I don't exist in my own home. No respect means no privileges." David arrived. Even he admitted he'd want to teach a lesson if his son had spoken to him that way. I told Mason and Chloe, "You said I'm not your parent." "Fine. Parents provide. If I'm not your parent, I'm not providing." For the first time, Mason looked shaken. Chloe cried, asking where they'd go. "To your dad's," I said gently. "He's your parent. I'm just your mom's husband, remember?" They left with David that night. Jess was furious at first, but I stood firm. I won't be disrespected in my own home, and I won't let my kids be demeaned. Emma and Tyler immediately felt safer, more relaxed, like the house was theirs again. A week later, David called. Mason and Chloe wanted to come back. They'd been humbled. Chloe apologized through her dad. Mason had grown quieter. So Jess and I agreed, but only if respect was non-negotiable. When they returned, I told them, "You don't need to call me Dad. You don't need to love me like your father. But in this house, you will respect me as someone who provides for you." They agreed. Mason even apologized to Tyler about the airplane. Chloe admitted she hadn't realized what I did until it was gone. It wasn't perfect overnight, but the shift was real. Mason started asking me for help with homework. Chloe thanked me for rides. A year later, Mason came to Jess and me together to ask permission for a concert, and when I raised concerns, he actually listened and compromised. That's when I knew we were a real family. Looking back, I don't regret the locks, the disconnections, the hard line. Sometimes being the bad guy is the most loving thing you can do. Jess saw I wasn't a doormat, but I also hadn't given up on her kids. Emma and Tyler learned I'll always stand up for them. Even David respected me more for holding his kids accountable. So, was I wrong to change the locks and remove my stepchildren? Or was it the wake-up call they needed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. At Reddit Visuals, we believe respect is earned and consequences are real. Thanks for watching.